Thanks for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos. Today I'm going to be talking about Ace Frehley. Please forgive that intro music right there, first of all, because I tried to use an Ace Frehley track, and for some weird reason, Windows Movie Maker wouldn't let me finish it. Wouldn't let me put it on there. I don't know, some kind of, it's blocked or something. Anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about Ace Frehley, and this is not really a review. I read the book, had the book, no regrets. I'm just going to be talking about Ace Frehley and what I like about Ace Frehley and all that other stuff. This isn't really specifically a review into Ace Frehley. I really like Ace Frehley. Kiss in the 70s was awesome and great. However, I was born in 1970, so I was like about 7 or 8 years old when, you know, Kiss was fully rolling, you know. So once the Kiss cards came out, I mean, I remember seeing a little bit of the commercials. I saw a couple of the albums, maybe here and there, and I got the Kiss cards, and that stuff was kind of cool and neat, kind of nostalgic to me, but, you know, I didn't enjoy it too much because I wasn't older. I didn't really understand what that was. To 1987, and I'm watching the Kiss video for I Want to Rock and Roll All Night, which, of course, what they redid, they just put a bunch of video footage together of all the old footage and everything else that was on Kiss Exposed, because they just come out with the VHS tape of Kiss Exposed, so there was all video and visual stuff so people could see Kiss. So Kiss as early as 1987. So ironically enough, Ace Frehley came out with his album. It's Frehley's Comet, but it's pretty much Ace Frehley's solo project, Frehley's Comet. And I thought that was an awesome tape. It was a really cool song, Rock Soldiers. I mean, Ace is back and he told you so. The whole concept of it, and it's just like a rocking song. He did do, if you watch my little CD work, if you cut it with the razor blade video, I did sample a couple of pieces. I did use the Ace Frehley demos. Demos from like 1985. Apparently, the story has it that Ace Frehley did a 1985 album, but then he scrapped it because all the songs were like just too poppy. One of the main reasons why, here's what I think happened. I think he was doing that, and somebody said, "Hey, isn't this the reason why you left Kiss? Because they were doing pop songs and stuff." It didn't work out for him. You going solo and you doing it, I don't think it's going to work out for you either. Who knows? That's what I'm guessing. Somebody must have said something, or either Ace thought of it himself and said, "Yeah, you know what, this poppy stuff, I'm just going to scrap all that pop stuff and do the Ace Frehley's Comet record." Which, Wired is a pretty cool song. It would have been cool if he put that on there. There's several songs off of that early demo. Some of you have probably heard some of those songs that were okay. Some of them were doable, but they weren't incredible. They weren't as rocking as Rock Soldiers. Now, Rock Soldiers is just the ultimate comeback song for Ace Frehley. It's about us drinking and driving. It was back in the summer of '83. There's a reason I remember it well. So that whole concept, and kind of like Ace Frehley's public service announcement for not drinking and driving. He's not telling people not to drink and drive, but he's just explaining and telling his story about what had happened to him and how he almost got killed from that accident. So once again, it was like really awesome. I like the fact how it was, you know, what was Richie Scarlett in the band at some point. John Reagan, or Joe Reagan, I forgot the guy's name, John Reagan. Todd Howard, who of course sang on a couple of songs. That was during the second sighting. Once the second sighting came out, Ace kind of was like, I guess he figured in the Kiss days how they all got to have a rest once this guy was singing and once that guy was singing. Once Paul and Peter were singing, this guy got the rest, and then Ace would sing his song. So I guess that's what probably Ace wanted to do, so he let Todd Howard sing a couple of songs, and then he got to just play guitar and not worry about doing vocals and guitar. So I think that's what happened there. Second sighting in 1988, the song starts off with Insane. I thought that was a really cool song too, that also described him. You know, I was watching a bunch of Ace videos recently, and they see that Laugh compilation. And the whole Laugh compilation, you know, was is crazy, you know. Ace doesn't take things too seriously. So I think that was the good thing about Ace. It had its merits and demerits. It was a good thing about Ace, but then it was kind of bad because of the whole thing. At the same time, Kiss released some awesome albums in the 80s without Ace, and Ace was taking, you know, a needed break. But, of course, not too many people were wild about Kiss in the 80s. I like them. I know there's a lot of other people that like them. Kiss in the 80s, my video that I did has the least amount of views of every single one of my videos I've ever done, so I guess some people don't want to hear about Kiss in the 80s that much.
When I think of how my life was spared from that near fatal wreck, if the devil wants to play his card game now, he's gonna play without an ace in his deck.
But Second Sighting was a cool album. He came out with it right away within the next year. And then in 88, and then by 1989, he came out with his next album. So I was like, hey, this is really cool. He came out with Trouble Walking. And years right there, in 87, 88, and 89, Ace was definitely kicking ass and back on the scene and everything. And of course, Trouble Walking's a good album. It's got the guys from Skid Row doing background vocals on the song Back to School. And it has, I don't think it has Todd Howard. I think Todd Howard already left. But Sandy Slavin and a couple of these other guys, we wanted to see, we weren't worried about that yet. Okay, that's in the future, in several months from now. Okay, cool, great. We wanted to see the show now. There was just a lot of people getting antsy. There's people, you know, swearing and yelling, come on already, what the heck, what's the deal? We want Ace. Some people were chanting Ace, and then they stopped. And then, of course, I know all the pot smokers out there would love this, but they're smoking pot out back. People are starting to laugh and giggle at the fact that you could smell pot coming from the backstage. Okay, so they're getting high. They're getting high, fine. I don't give a shit if they're getting high. Just come on stage. Get high and smoke your weed before you come out onto the stage. I don't give a shit. Just come out to the stage on time. I mean, if it's 10, 15, 20 minutes late or an hour late, that would have been fun, I guess. We sat there until like almost like 9:30. I kid you not, it was like an hour and a half wait. People were leaving at this point. People were actually leaving. People like, yeah, look, those people, yeah, fuck this. And there were some people that just started to go, and then finally within the next so many minutes, one guy came out. There was a roadie, or he was a sound man. I don't know if he was one of the guitar techs or drum techs, but the guy came out to adjust a monitor or something. People started clapping and cheering, like, okay, finally, the show's going to start. And then, of course, he goes up back, and there's another 5-6 minute wait. Or it's another 6 minute wait, or what the heck ever it was. But anyways, the show finally started, and it was Peter Criss, and it was his own band, and he did the songs that you'd expect. He did Beth, he did, you know, I don't know, Speed, Black Diamond, and all this other stuff. So then Ace Frehley came out and did his set, and then of course, Peter Criss came out and jammed with Ace Frehley for like 1 or 2 songs. Look, I know I'm going to have to edit this and cut this. One of my main points here is what drives me crazy. When I look at the stuff, okay, you got Anton Fig for the 87 album. Peter Criss did do backup vocals also on Trouble Walking. But why didn't he have Peter Criss just as the drummer for that album? Why didn't Peter Criss, you know, some fans have discussed this, and I've often thought of this. If Peter Criss and Ace Frehley were such good friends and everything, and they, you know, they had left Kiss and they were going to pull that, well, let's show Paul and Gene, you know, why didn't they ever jam together? Why didn't they ever do an album together? Not just slight guest appearance, just form their own band. You know, Peter Criss could be in Ace Frehley's band. Either just have a whole new band or just be in Ace Frehley's band. Okay, you want to call it the Ace Frehley solo thing? I'm going to be drumming for you. I don't need my name up there. There's been a lot of fans who have wondered, hey, how come you and Peter Criss have never actually formed a band or did a full album together? I don't know. It's a question they got to ask them. But of course, if they ask them, they'll call them some kind of corny excuse anyways. Okay, so in the Ace Frehley book, No Regrets, there's a lot of confirmation on here. Once again, it's just corny that somebody pruned it. It just kind of irritated me. I wanted to find out a little bit more information about Ace Frehley, because when I do these videos too, I sometimes pull an Ace and, you know, I don't know, I don't remember. You know, that kind of thing happens, which I understand. So, you know, I'll always like do my research when I'm doing a specific band, like, okay, what did I forget, what can I talk about, kind of thing. Sometimes it's facts, sometimes, you know, I know like a good amount of facts, but not everything. But I'm not going to just be, I don't make videos just to shout out facts and then prune books and then just describe and tell you everything that's on them. That's just a cheap ass way to do things. Seriously, it's stupid. But this is an awesome book. It comes with some cool pictures and stuff like that. I'm not sure if he did an audio version of it, because I know Ace doesn't really like to talk or speak too much either sometimes. Kiss, I've seen more Kiss songs on that record than Gene did. Okay, so on the album Dynasty, he sang more songs on it than Gene did. There you go. I just gave you one little sample. I'm not describing the whole dang book. So anyways, one other thing though he said, and about Gene, he said, oh, Gene's put the dollar signs in his eyes, because Gene was always kind of greedy and stuff like that. And look, the guys in Kiss bash each other a lot. For the most part, it's probably true, with the exception of the stuff Paul said about Ace. Some of that's ridiculous. Sometimes Paul and Gene sometimes don't know what they're talking about either. Sometimes, you know, I disagree with those guys too. But, yeah, the dollar signs in Gene's eyes.
Gene Simmons of the band Kiss is suing Gary the Goat from the band Goat Piss for using his trademark makeup. Gene has says number 1, he isn't as cute as me, number 2, he doesn't even play bass, and number 3, he isn't Jewish.
This video is about Ace Frehley, but I just wanted to say that, hey, the book, review on the book, it's an awesome book, no regrets. If you haven't seen that video I'm talking about, don't watch it. Get the book, find out if there's an audio. I'll put right here if there's no audio on it, because I just don't know if there's an audio on the book. And if there is an audio version of the Ace Frehley book, it's probably read or narrated by somebody else, so it's not even worth it. So, awesome book, awesome albums and everything. Rock Soldiers was the one other funny thing that could say, one kind of funny story. Bashing Ace here a little bit, because he was, you know, a drunk and he was sober. I've been sober for 8 years, or 12 years, and then a year later, I've been sober for 8 years now. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing sometimes. However, one funny story, and it wasn't a funny story, but it was kind of weird. It would have been funny if this happened. And in the show, there was a show I started watching, Celebrity Ghost Stories, and this is like back in like 2013 or 14, whatever. I'd wake up every single morning and watch TV. So anyways, I was watching Discovery Channel, and I was watching ID Discovery and stuff like that. So there was like a lot of those mystery things and cop shows like Joe Kendall and all that. Anyways, get to my point. One of the shows was called Celebrity Ghost Stories. So I'm like, alright, season or so, and oh, Ace Frehley. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, there's an Ace Frehley one. Alright, I gotta watch this one. So I watched it, and Ace Frehley, I won't get into too much detail on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But the odd weird thing was, when he was in his house in Connecticut, and the house was haunted, and this part wasn't funny, but his girlfriend and then his daughter both, separate times, felt something as that something pushed him down the stairs, and he fell down and they broke their arm. The daughter did. And I think it was Monique. So that was bad and sad that happened. However, you know, you got to think, well, that didn't happen to Ace. So you can imagine, you could just imagine, that would be funny if Ace fell down and he broke his arm and then he had an interview within 3 or 4 days. And Ace Frehley's, and you know, like on Howard Stern with the camera or whatever, or that metal show. Howard Stern, that metal show, wherever, where there's just a visual camera there, not just audio. And they go, oh, hey, what happened to your arm? You hurt your arm? And then, of course, people are thinking, and they'll be like, oh, I fell down the stairs. And then people are going to be thinking, oh, he was drunk and fell down the stairs, right? And then the interviewer would probably be reluctant to ask him, but ask him, oh, were you drinking, or, you know, were you drunk? No, I wasn't drunk. a ghost pushed me down the stairs. And then, of course, he'd laugh or whatever. So then, you know, like I said, that'd be kind of funny, odd, because then people would be like, man, he's full of shit. He didn't get pushed down those stairs by no friggin' ghost. He fell off the wagon again. He got drunk and fell down the stairs. So, hopefully that doesn't sound too rude or whatever. I just think it would have been a really funny situation if that happened. If you notice here, I have one of the albums, Rock and Roll Over, which is one of my favorite Kiss albums. It's one of my favorite Kiss album covers. It's an awesome cover. What was really, he's a funny, corny guy. He's wicked serious when it comes to the studio work and his sound and stuff like that. I've been a huge Ace fan for a long time, since 1987. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments below what you love about Ace Frehley, and then what Ace Frehley album you like. Thanks for watching.